That's true. But right now, I have more important things to worry about. Like Slam Bros. Ooh.
Maybe the new character is Tape.
Hello everyone, I'm Masahiro Sakurai, director of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate from Sora Limited.
Okay.
I can't understand anything
We'll be
he's
using
saying.
today's showcase to give you a first
I
look
don't
at our next
speak
DLC fighter.
Japanese, so same.
Actually,
audio is,
hardly
like, all
anyone knows
weird.
what we'll be announcing today, even among Nintendo staff worldwide.
Is yours like that?
The development team and
Which
other
part?
stakeholders have been working on this fighter with the utmost secrecy. Which means other Nintendo staff around the globe will only start making preparations for release after the showcase has been broadcast. So, it won't be available right away. Please understand that it will take a little time.
You have an
I think even many
pair of
Nintendo employees will be surprised to see this and say, wow, really?
A pair in this bag.
So, let's all share in the
Wait,
fun
I just
of
fixed
getting
it.
our hands on the latest information. However, even if you say, that's not the character I was picturing, I hope you don't have any hard feelings. We prepared a fighter reveal video. Once it starts, I think you'll figure out who it is pretty quickly. Now,
good.
let's do this.
Alright.
It's Pikachu.
He's like, don't be angry. I've had enough of this.
Oh god, here it is. Oh, I can't believe that's who it is.
It's an anime? It's Byleth. Or is it Edelgard?
The time has finally come to unleash the forbidden spell of Zaharas upon our enemies!
Oh my god, there's gonna be some raging Smash fans on the internet today.
Fire Emblem? Are you kidding me?
What were you thinking, charging right into an enemy's trap?
This is just the game.
As you and I are one, I too am trapped within this void.
I wonder if this
In
is a
time,
fake
our
out.
hearts and minds will
Oh.
cease to be.
It's not a fake out. This is a
Are you
spoiler.
prepared to die?
So sorry.
Oh, I haven't.
I thought as much. I
probably
also
won't
do not
remember
wish to
this.
die.
So,
And
if there's
yet-
any advantage to having like a poor working memory.
There is no other choice.
They're gonna go to Smash.
You must join Smash.
Oh, we're just getting.
Join Smash Brothers already! What in the world are you waiting for?
This happens in the game? That's incredible. Why
Yes,
didn't
this
you
is
guys?
a spoiler.
I can't believe you guys didn't predict this.
So joining Smash consumes even the darkness itself!
I'm actually surprised it's not one of the 3 house leaders.
It looked like they were there in the form of something.
Background characters?
Yeah.
So
Ooh.
you return. And
He's not
so
alone?
Unexpected. I see. Too many swordsmen, are there? And you wield the sword as well? What will you do?
Oh, we're getting.
So that is
Girl
how you plan to
Byleth?
win the day? So be it. I reward your cleverness this time.
Changing to girl Byleth is how Byleth's gonna win. Ah,
How is this?
okay. Byleth recruits. Byleth.
Oh, legendary. Absolutely legendary.
Of anyone, you should be able to handle the hero's relics. With Arid Fire, strike with superior reach.
So Byleth can use 4 of the relics
Use
then?
Amir's overwhelming power. Unleash the blinding speed
Oh, this
of
is
Fail
cool.
Not. Along with the sword of the creator, each weapon matches a direction.
Oh, I need to finish this game.
Yeah.
Will and mine be now
Oh,
as
it must be a
one.
traveling stage. Like, I've seen various areas of the monastery.
Both sides of time
Yeah.
revealed. Through Smash, show the world.
Okay, so they didn't really have a spoiler in there, but that was definitely a moment where it could have been one.
Oh.
He's putting the posters up.
Yes, there you have it. Byleth from Fire Emblem Three Houses is joining the battle.
Die,
Fire Emblem
man.
Three Houses was released just last summer, so it's still very new. Even so, you'll soon be able to play as them in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
The fact that we got
This
a
release
first
is
party
planned for
character.
January 28th. You'll have instant
3.
access if you have the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate
Huh?
Fighters Pass, and it will
The
also
3
be
was for
available
3
to purchase
houses.
individually.
Yes.
In case you're not familiar with Fire Emblem or Three Houses, I'll explain a few things, so don't worry.
I love this song.
Yes.
First off, what is Fire Emblem?
I don't know.
It's
What
really
fire
hard to
game?
pronounce in Japanese. The producer said it's okay if I just say Fire Emblem. But when writing it, if you don't write Fire Emblem, the Fire Emblem police will come and get you, so please be careful. The series' first entry launched in Japan on the Famicom in 1990. You could say it was a pioneer in the genre of tactical role-playing games. You might be wondering what makes it particularly tactical. Well, it's tactical in that it simulates combat. You can think of it as moving pieces in a board game. Or in other words, a game in which you advance units across
It's
a grid
chess.
and battle.
Yes. Like advanced chess.
When we talk about tactical games of that era, there were
Bunch of
lots of ones in
rules
which you
that
command
are
tanks,
hidden.
aircrafts, and so on. But
Like the
Fire Emblem
weapons
was
triangle.
unique because each unit was a specific character, sort of like in role-playing games.
Oh,
Plus,
poor
something made
Dylan.
it stand out from other Nintendo products.
No, Dante.
Oh.
Characters could permanently die.
I feel bad for all the
That's pretty direct language, though,
DMC
so perhaps we should just say
stands,
they're
and then
sleeping with
also
the fishes.
yeah, mostly just the DMC.
But really, if a character fell in
The
battle,
show also
you'd lose
isn't
that
over
unit.
yet, so
They'd be gone.
you never
and
know.
Oh
you'd
no,
use them again.
absolutely. I was like thinking, I'm like, okay, with these characters, are they really
Recent
gonna
entries in the
spend a whole
series maintain this
35
concept
minutes
of
on
permadeath
them?
to some degree in
Like
classic
they did with
games and what
Terry.
have you.
Well, I
But a lot
know.
of games
Yeah.
now allow
But like
strategic
Terry also
withdrawals,
had a
so to
lot
speak.
going on, and then so who knows?
In the older games, your units would really be gone, never to be mentioned again.
I mean, he is giving us a history lesson again.
The game's stories are told like chronicles of war, with increasingly distinct characters and engrossing scenarios.
Yeah, when they brought that list of
Several
fighters
characters
to
also
like
appear in the Super
Sakura,
Smash
they're
Bros.
like,
series, and 6
here's
of
all the
7
fighters,
use a counterattack.
and he was
It's
like,
their down special.
he saw Byleth, and his
There's
face
actually
was like,
a reason for this. When I was considering how to incorporate
his smile
Fire
just
Emblem
got
fighters
bigger
into
and
Super
bigger,
Smash
and he
Bros.
goes,
melee,
oh,
I thought
okay.
it might be interesting to reflect the turn-based
He's
nature
like,
of the original game.
I like Fire
First
Emblem.
comes your opponent's turn. They attack and you counter. Next comes your turn.
It didn't look like Byleth had a counter.
And now, Fire Emblem Three Houses is the 17th game in the series.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a whole
People
lot
who
that
aren't
the
Japanese
West
in
just
particular
never
might
got.
be thinking,
Like, we
17
didn't get the
There are
games
that
until
many?
like 2003, 2004
Well, if
on
you
the
include
Game Boy
Fire Emblem
Advance.
Heroes in the remakes,
And
don't
then we
include
got a
the
remake on
television
DS of the
Tokyo
original
Mirage Sessions,
2, I
Sharp
think?
FE,
Yeah.
and Fire Emblem Warriors. Then it comes out to 17 games. Let's try saying them in the Fire Emblem Can You Say It challenge.
Do it,
I'll give
Sakurai.
it a try.
I love the laughing in the background.
It sounds like they have fun at the studio.
Blazing Blade was the first one we got.
That's the one where he plays Roy's dad.
What's his name?
Elwood?
There you go, 17.
Elwood?
Elwood, yes.
So you saw how I was counting in a weird way, right? I was counting in binary.
I
This is
love
0.
this guy.
Fold this here and you get 1, and then you get 2, then 2 plus 1 equals 3.
This is what
So,
happens when
this
you
would
don't
be
give
4,
Sakurai
5,
a
6,
budget and
7,
he just gets to
and
do
8.
whatever he wants.
And then you get
Like,
16.
does this service any
As
purpose
one,
other
you
than
get
the fact
17.
that, like, oh, it's video games. They use
Awesome, isn't it?
binary.
Oh,
It's
it's
computers.
the 3
You
sync
can
symbol
actually count up to 31
that he did in
on
the
one hand.
thumbnail.
And if you use both hands, you can count all the way up to 1023.
Wow.
If you've given up counting the knots in a tatami mat, you could always give it a go. What is Fire Emblem Three Houses?
Okay, so this is going to fill
In
up
Japanese,
35
the male
minutes
version
of
of the main
just like
character
him.
is called Byleth,
If
and
it's
the
not
female
Fire
version
Emblem
is called
stuff,
Byleth.
it's Sakurai's
But in English, they
antics.
share the same name,
Yes.
Byleth. Byleth becomes a professor who ends up leading one of 3 academic houses. Once you've chosen a
Golden
house, you guide them through their school life, and,
Yeah.
well, you end up fighting the other houses. After a certain incident,
Hilda was
5
my
years
waifu.
pass, and you meet up with
Ah.
your grown-up students to battle
I was
against
gonna
the other
say,
houses
wow,
in
I
their
can't
region.
believe there's
It's
a
a very
Fire
sad
Emblem
game
character
in which your
in
former allies
Smash.
become
Man,
enemies,
this series
turn
is gonna
hostile, and
take
try to
off.
kill you. To understand the concept of Fire Emblem Three Houses, I played an early version of the game before its release.
Oh, okay.
I've done the same thing before, with The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, for example.
So he does this so he gets to play games
Because
before
I
they
couldn't
come
wait
out.
until launch to
Not so he can add them to Smash.
Never made
It's
it
like,
in
wait,
time.
which games do I want to play?
For that title, I borrowed an early version of the game for 2 days, ran around all the areas, saw the ending, and realized for the first time, I guess we can't really have Breath of the Wild's Princess Zelda as a fighter.
That's so mean, Sakurai.
I did the same
Maybe
this
for
time,
Breath of the
but with
Wild,
there being
too.
3 houses and multiple endings, it was really hard to get a feel for it. And of course, there
like
weren't
60
any
hours of
walkthroughs
run,
as
too.
reference. The game has multiple routes, and the outcome of each is very different. Your experience will vary depending on the route you choose, and many of the characters you meet will adopt different roles in the story. I'll try to avoid spoilers when I'm talking about the fighter. I hope you'll understand. Before my demonstration, I should point out that when I did the Terry Bogard showcase video, I mentioned that it was recorded a month in advance. But this time, we have to account for the holidays and such, so we're filming 2 months in advance of this video's release.
All
Right
right.
now, it's actually November.
Wait, this isn't live?
Therefore,
Sakurai.
some of what I'm about to show you might differ a bit from the finished version. As always, I'm using a special in-game camera and such for demonstration purposes. Here I go.
Gimme,
What,
gimme,
what a
gimme, gimme.
cheater. How can he do that?
Can't believe him. So the one first party character in the
So,
in the
this
fighter
is our
pack.
new fighter,
It's
Byleth.
a Fire Emblem character.
This is the second time this has
Sadly, they're
happened.
lacking in mobility. It's maybe a bit better than Robin's, but that's about all you can say for them. Throws are not their strong point either. Their grab lacks range. But actually, you could say that they're distance demon.
Distance
The
demon.
hero's relic they use changes depending on the direction you input with the stick. Each of the hero's
Oh.
relics is a weapon that appears in Fire Emblem Three Houses. They look like bones, and there's a reason for that. First, let's talk about the weapon Byleth uses for upward inputs, the Sword of the Creator. The Sword of the Creator here is Byleth's default weapon. They use it for flurry attacks and tilt attacks, such as down tilt attacks, where it takes the form of a whip.
I love the
They also use
soundtrack.
the sword for dash attacks and other moves. For their up smash attack, they'll whip the sword upward to launch enemies in the air. For their up air attack, they'll wave the whip sword overhead. The hit detection for this attack lasts for a relatively long time. The up special move is really something. The sword extends like this, allowing you to do things like this.
Whoa.
It
That's
was
even
pretty
cooler than
terrifying
Joker.
How I knocked him into the air with that attack. And in addition,
That's gonna be fun.
you can do awful things like this.
Awful things.
That said, you'll launch opponents upward until their damage reaches a certain percentage. Exceed that percentage and you'll need to be careful. You may find it helpful to mid-air dodge. I've already shown this, but you can also use it to latch onto edges. So that's
Even
the up
from
special.
above, it looks like.
Now, for the sideways inputs. This is Erdvar, the same name as the weapon from Celtic mythology. First, we'll go through the forward and back air attacks. As you can see, they have a long reach. Like so.
So these aren't the B attacks like I
Marth's
thought they
air
were.
attack keeps opponents in check too, right? If Byleth does the same thing, you'd win out, so you should be able to beat it. Next, the side smash attack. This also has a long range. It'll connect even from here. Also, if you add an upward tilt, it will be stronger. And if you've knocked an opponent down, the side attack won't hit unless you
Should I
add
go
a
on
downward
Twitter
tilt
right
to aim
now?
for them.
See all the anger.
By the way, the tip of the lance is more powerful. The shaft part is weaker,
He's Marth too.
so it's not suited to close combat. It won't deal much damage, and it won't launch
Andre.
opponents far. That's why, as a rule, you want to hit with the blade part aimed upward.
I mean,
Or
Three
downward.
Houses was my second place game of the year,
Next, the side
so
smash.
I'm pretty happy right now.
Byleth will simply swing the lance like this, but again, it has excellent reach. For example, even when your opponent is at this distance, it'll still hit.
Wow. Wowie zowie.
Actually, you can do a smash attack to charge forward a little, like this. But as you'd expect, it can be easily shielded, so be careful. Use it in midair and you'll carve up a large area. Returning to the side air attacks from earlier, they have great horizontal reach, but they lack verticality.
Honestly, like, Byleth
So
looks
this
pretty
complements it
unique.
well.
Yeah, no, I was
Although
getting
you'll
that
be
feeling
vulnerable
like
when you
if they're gonna
land.
bring another sword character from Fire
Now, for the
Emblem,
downward impetus.
like they're gonna have
For
to
these,
make him
Byleth
unique.
will use an
Right.
axe called Emir. It's named after a weapon that appears in Ugaritic myth. First, the down air attack. It really is strong. You can try for a meteor effect with this attack. Next is the down smash attack. A heavy swing of the axe back and forth. As you can see, it has a great deal of launch power. And for the down special, Byleth channels all their energy into a devastating strike. It's a bold move, similar to the Falcon Punch, but here's what makes it different. When readying the move, there's a super armor effect, which allows you to
Calling
withstand
it
an
now before the patch update
attack. Just
for
so
this
you know, if you
character.
execute
OP.
Falcon Punch at about the same time,
I feel like it's only right.
it plays out.
Just make the character too
It's
strong
a bit slower than
and
the
have
Falcon
everybody be
Punch,
like,
but
"Oh,
due
this
to
is
the super
great,"
armor effect,
you
you have
know?
the advantage.
That's
until they like debuff it.
that's generally how it goes with DLC.
Another notable aspect is that it lets
Especially
you
with that
pass through
super armor.
Oh. While you're charging up, you can breeze past platforms like this to reach a lower
Oh.
area.
I can't think of any other attack
It
with a
won't let you
property like
jump,
that.
but you could use it as a surprise attack.
Yeah, not like that.
Also, you can turn around during the move.
Oh
The
my
swing
gosh,
takes a
this
while.
is gonna be killer.
So if an
Super
opponent
armor,
runs
being
behind
able to
you
go
during the
through
move, you can
platforms
quickly
and
change
being able to
direction.
turn around with the attack.
Yeah, that's
Even
gonna
though
be a
it can
spooky
hard to
move.
land a hit with
That's
this move,
that's a kill move right there.
It can be really effective when used against a group of opponents.
Get both
Plus,
of them
even
on
if you
both
fail
sides.
to land a direct hit, any opponents on the ground nearby will still be launched a little.
I wonder if it's a shield breaker.
It's as if the quaking of the ground launches them. By the way, earlier I talked a little bit about the other Fire Emblem characters' moves. I don't recommend using this down special against fighters from the Fire Emblem series, because you'll just get loads of counters. It hits with that much power in a single attack. Counters can actually multiply the power of blocked attacks, and using easily anticipated attacks like this could just get you hit by counter after
Just
counter.
killing him from zero.
Next, we have the neutral moves. The bow you use is called Failnaught, which shares its name with the bow from the Knights of the Round Table. It only appears in a few neutral moves. You've got the neutral air attack. This attack is similar to a move of Pit's and other fighters like him. It lets you spin the weapon around. It's also easy to create certain combos with it. And with the neutral special, you'll let loose an arrow. It seems pretty straightforward, right? But there are a few noteworthy aspects to this bow. First, the biggest difference between this bow and Link's is that once you enter the command, you can keep charging until it's ready. You can't release it partway through the charge, so when it does fire, the arrow travels at high speed. It's also very powerful. That said, you can still cancel out of the stance using the shield button. You can also change direction while in the stance. It works up until this point, but if you keep holding the button, you'll unleash a powerful arrow that looks like a beam of light.
Okay.
You can perform this move by keeping the button held down.
Wow.
You
Just like a
charge up
critical
power like
attack?
so. Charge a bit more,
Yeah.
and then fire. But again, you'll need to take care when using this move. For one, when you've powered up the move to its max, there's no way to cancel out of it. Not even with the shield button.
So that's
In
a
other words,
commitment.
You're committed to firing it. So you see, a situation like this is pretty terrible.
Oh, cool. They break.
Yeah.
Once you've entered the stance,
It didn't
You
even
won't be able
phase
to
me
do
that like
anything.
this was a new fighting area.
which means
just
it's quite the
until
risky
now.
attack to use against
The
fighters
dining
who
hall
have
from the
a move
monastery.
with
Yeah.
reflector effect. But you could always just aim into the fray, as it is, after all, a long-range move, letting you deal a sudden blow to opponents. So you need to think carefully when using this projectile weapon.
There's a lot
Byleth's
of
final smash is called
vulnerabilities.
Progenitor God
Yeah.
Ruptured Heaven. In the original game, there's a move called Ruptured Heaven. This is an enhanced version.
Owarida.
As you
That
can
means,
see,
let's
you team
finish
up with
this.
the mysterious Sophist and launch an attack together.
ソフィスが誰であるのか何なのかというのは原作で確認してみていただければと思います。
We can play Smash Brothers in
Now,
a
let's
church
talk
now.
about the color variations. It's set up so that
It
the
is a
default
holy
and
game.
odd-numbered color
Yes.
variations are male, while the even-numbered ones are female. However, the third, fourth, and fifth colors are, as you
Yes.
can see, reminiscent of the house.
I know what skin I'm using constantly.
Those of you who played the original game
This
will
one?
of course,
Yeah.
understand what I'm referring to.
Claude.
The sixth color is based on Sophis, who you just saw earlier. And the seventh and eighth variations have a different
Cool.
hair color, which is based on something that occurs in the course of the original game's story.
I'm glad that he
Didn't we
didn't
see
spoil
this
that.
variation in the final Smash?
I guess I know what I'm doing the rest of the day.
Eric Mock.
Next, I'll introduce the stage. For this one, we of course tried to recreate the place where you spend most of the game, Garreg Mach Monastery. This is how Garreg Mach Monastery is laid out in the original game. From these, we chose to have it cycle through the marketplace, reception hall, bridge, and cathedral all in one stage.
Oh, 4 different
It's the type of
areas.
stage that rotates through different areas, such as these 4. Let me introduce each of the guests that appear in these 4 areas. The first area is the marketplace. I think this is where a lot of people come to do their shopping. The guests that appear here
Yeah,
are
you
students
have
of the
to.
Blue Lion's house.
Sakurai.
Dimitri, Dedu, and Ingrid. Not Dimitri, Dudu, or Ingrid. Their names
Dudu.
are a bit difficult to say.
Doo-doo.
They're largely from the Holy Kingdom of Fargus. Since it's a kingdom, that means they have a monarchy. For that reason, I guess you could say Dimitri's the future king. He had quite the difficult life and may or may not end up with just one eye. He's an unfortunate one, that one.
Okay,
There are
Sakurai.
vendors on either side. In the original game, these are important booths where you buy all sorts of things, but here you can break them, you see. If you do break them, the stage will expand to the left and right. I wonder where people will buy their supplies now.
My poor
And in the
wares.
background, you can see the gatekeeper.
Gatekeepers and
You often
Smash.
pass through this area in Fire Emblem 3 houses, and you
That's
end up
what I
talking to him
wanted.
a lot.
I mean, we were just
Moving
talking
through
about
these
how,
areas is
yeah,
possible
Logan
thanks to
wants
this mysterious platform.
Logan wants the
Just when it seems
gatekeeper
like
and
you've come
Smash
to a
from
stop.
Fire Emblem 3 houses.
You'll
think we
come
broke the
crashing
ceiling.
back down. We've broken through the ceiling and slammed into the building.
It's Edelgard.
And the guests in the reception hall are Edelgard, Dorothea, and Petra of the Black Eagles. Take note, it's not spelled Edelgard. They're from the Adressian Empire, and as such, they embrace their military might. Edelgard is one of the characters who is central to the conflict. Depending on the path you take, she'll go through some terrible ordeals. You'll notice there are prominent chandeliers above the stage. It's possible to knock them down.
Yes.
It's always been my dream
However,
to attack
Byleth
someone with a
can't actually
chandelier.
reach it, even though it's their stage. You can reach it with other fighters, though. So, it's nice if you can work your way up there by getting lucky and being launched up, or perhaps by using another fighter as a stepping stone. There we go. I made it. And you can knock it down. Also, you can break this table. Like so.
You can break this table.
Just like the sign that reads Furin Kazan in the Suzaku Castle stage, it can break if you launch the opponent into it at close range. Next up, the bridge. The camera rotates 90 degrees.
That is a
creating this
lovely
long
background.
area.
Yeah.
It's very wide indeed.
Also, I really like the transition effect.
Yeah. Oh, it's my waifu, Hilda.
It's similar
my
to the bridge of
waifu.
Elden stage.
Claude?
The guests are
Yeah.
from the Golden Deer, Claude, Hilda, and Lawrence. They belong to the Leicester Alliance. Because it's an alliance of many noble families, you could say that they have a wide
Wow,
assortment of
Zoj-
members.
Go
And
Zijas
Claude
and
is the
Smash.
sharpest of the
He
bunch.
did it.
Incidentally,
My
both
dad.
Claude and Hilda are the names of characters that appear in Genealogy of the Holy War, the 4th title in the Fire Emblem series. I guess once you've reached the 17th game and are creating 40 characters for each new entry, you're bound to get a bit of name overlap. The naming process must be tough. Hey, it looks like the Pegasus Knight is busy training. As for the bridge's design, it's just a long pathway. Plain
So is it
and
only 3 characters from
you
each
can
house
expect
that appear?
plenty of blows to be exchanged at the edges of the screen.
Looks like it.
That seems like very anti-Sakurai to me.
You could also say it's a place where the fail knot really
Especially when you
shines.
think of
And in
Terry's
this sense,
stage.
I think it suits
Probably
the
getting
Golden Deer
tired. He goes,
perfectly.
3's enough. 3's enough.
He's like, I want a nap.
Need to sleep sometime, guys. Maybe they'll
The
have
last
some
area
paid
is the
DLC
cathedral.
to add more characters
Only
to the
with some
background.
platforms you can pass through.
Oh, it's Sedith.
The guests appearing in the cathedral are Sedith, Flayn, and Rhea. There's Sedith, who appears to have an extremely strong bond with his sister, Flayn. She seems to be under the protection of him and Rhea, who you can see fighting during the opening of Fire Emblem 3 Houses. All 3 have character quirks related to their true identities. I feel that Flayn might be saying shush at this point, so I'll leave it at that. This is a simple area of the stage. All it has are these platforms.
Those
Being the
platforms
last
aren't
area,
in the
it may be a
place,
place where some
Sakurai.
intense battles will be waged.
Bro, I can't believe
This is a
that
lie.
he would
Each
like
location in about 2.5
defile the
minutes.
canon of 3 houses like that.
Okay, today we'll have a tag team battle in Squad Strike with the DLC team pitted against Fire Emblem protagonists from throughout the ages. That'll give us precisely 5 players per side. Alright, here we go, Joker.
Fighters Pass versus
Joker!
Fire Emblem. He just killed himself.
And Hero!
No. All of the DLC.
We really made a lot, huh? Banjo! By now, I think you know what I'm doing. But basically, I'm trying to defeat all 5 opponents with just the Professor gear. But as expected, it's going to be a pretty tough battle, so I'm using anything I can get my hands on. It's not going to land that easily. Uh-oh, this is bad. Bennigan's.
Come on,
I better keep
Sakurai.
my distance. I'll use this chance to attack. Got it. That's scary. He's invincible for a moment here. Lots of explosives. Ouch. He perfect shielded that, huh?
I'm sad Raphael doesn't
Good
show
one.
up.
If I do
How
this,
chill they are
like
in the
this,
background, just
or
making
like
a few
so.
poses and.
No anti-air, huh?
They're not bothered by
Yeah,
anything that's
the soccer
happening
ball
here.
connected.
Hmm.
My professor's fighting for their life right now. Nah, it's okay.
Good. There's Mom. You're in a good spot, Mom.
Not Mother Brain, it's Mom.
Ah, I shouldn't have taken that. Gardevoir. Well, I guess no one uses projectiles. At this point, it doesn't matter if Gardevoir's there or not. I feel like the enemy might get this Smash Ball.
Ooh,
See? They got it.
this is looking
But I
spicy.
mustn't give up.
Ooh,
I can't waste the chance.
Oh, he's almost
There's
done
another
it.
Smash Ball. Yes, got it.
he just sniped it.
Now. What are you charging up for? There's still more. Whack. Go on, you can take the hammer, but it's mine. Although I'm scared I might get hit with a counter in this state. I hit him.
The mad lad did it.
I was trying to fight using Byleth's abilities alone, but what matters is that I won. Good game. It can be fun to play like this, especially in tag team, so I think it's a good idea to try imposing different types of challenges on yourself. The end. Now, about
Are
the
there not
additional
enough
music.
songs?
Since it's from the Fire Emblem series, we'll be adding each of the new tracks to all the Fire Emblem stages. There are already a lot of Fire Emblem tracks in the game. Our selection this time has been made taking those existing tracks into consideration. 11 songs are being added.
Okay.
This includes an arrangement of the main theme in both Japanese and English.
Heck yeah.
I hope you'll enjoy these as well.
They're great songs, so I'm
We're also
on
adding in
board.
a new spirit board. It includes the house leaders among some of the other popular characters.
Dope.
Sothis is Legend class. Also, there's a new Classic Mode route, a Heroic Legacy, which is designed to let you enjoy classic Fire Emblem stages from throughout the series' history. The final battle is against Master Hand and Crazy Hand, but you'll find that something pretty amusing happens, so look forward to that.
Okay.
Now for the Mii Fighter costumes. Please take a look.
Oh, my favorite part.
The big deconfirmation wave.
Getting a Dante costume.
Dante, Travis, Monster Hunter, Gino. Zelda?
Oh.
Whoa. I can't say I expected that.
Pretty neat though.
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
Rabid Peach.
Wonder what other Ubisoft properties are getting.
Mega Man X. Guys, look, Mega Man X is in the game. Ash Paulson is crying right now.
Oh.
Mega Man.exe. Wow. That's rad.
Oh.
Of course it's a gunner. Yeah, that's awesome.
That's good.
And we get a music track with him. No Mugman?
Shout out to the Cuphead devs.
Yeah.
They're probably like, oh god.
We're in
Getting
Smash
wrapped in
Brothers.
Smash? That's good.
I wonder if that's gonna be like a recurring thing where one of the Mii fighters is like a special one.
Yeah.
With a music track. January 28th.
So we got like
はい、今回新しい
This
12
time we're
days.
releasing a Cuphead costume. And for those of you who purchased the Cuphead costume, an additional song will be added. It's called Floral Fury, and it's the theme that plays when fighting Cagney Carnation.
I should play that game.
It's really fun.
I hope you enjoy these as well.
Not easy, but fun.
After purchasing a costume, I recommend using the sharing feature. If someone has created a Mii fighter, you can play using the costume it's wearing immediately after you download it. And now, onto the amiibo.
Richter, Dark Samus.
The color palette for Dark Samus looks pretty good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Dark Samus and Richter are planned for release on Friday, January 17th.
That paint job's incredible.
And now, with the addition of Byleth, the Fighter's Pass is finally complete. The lineup
What a ride.
is Joker, Hero, Banjo and Kazooie, Terry Bogard, and Byleth.
What's next?
From more than 70 fighters, only 5 have been added. But I must say, this game has always been an exceptional experience. And since the roster was already so large to begin with, right from the start, we intended to make the most out of the new gameplay mechanics and so on. There really were a lot of new mechanics, weren't there? When we add a new fighter, we don't simply make their attacks or their movements a little different. Instead, we try to offer you a whole new style of play. As I stated, we'll continue to release more DLC fighters down the line. I had thought that 1 or 2 might suffice, but, well,
Fighter's Pass.
have a look.
Oh
Oh
man.
man.
Oh man. We getting.
How many?
Yeah.
All right.
Ah!
Whoa. 6 more.
Looks like there will be 1 more fighter than last time.
Do we get a peek? Do we get a peek?
Sakurai,
For this
please.
Just tell us
we
what
will
the
be
next one
releasing
is,
the Super
man.
Smash Bros. Ultimate
December
Fighters Pass Volume 2.
2021.
It will be available for pre-purchase on the date
God.
shown, so please keep an eye
Next
out.
2 years.
And now that it's official, we intend to move ahead with development. Of course, like last time, the contents will remain unknown for now, and I'm personally very sorry that we have to release Fighters Pass Volume 2 when the details have yet to be revealed. Like last time, I'd be very grateful if, despite that, you would understand why and purchase it. Furthermore,
have my
the new
wallet.
additions
You can have it.
already been
It's yours.
decided.
I mean, yeah, I'm gonna
Even
purchase
if I
it.
receive many requests
Either
regarding
sooner
potential
or later.
candidates on Twitter, I'm afraid it would be very hard to consider them.
11 total DLC fighters.
But I still hope you'll look forward to it.
12 if you count Piranha Plant.
Yeah.
We're also including a bonus with Fighters Pass Volume 2. Last time, it was a Rex costume. But this time, here's what we have.
Ooh, goody goody.
Piranha Plant 2.
It's a Mii
Oh,
Fighter
cool.
costume for Mii Sword Fighter.
Oh, it's
The
like
ancient
Breath of the
soldier
Wild
gear
thing?
from The Legend of Zelda.
Don't we have that?
This will not be for sale individually, so it can only be acquired as part of Fighters Pass Volume 2.
Audio.
It's been reported that Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is the highest-selling fighting game in the world. Personally, I don't know if it counts as simply a fighting game, but I guess it's seen as a fighting game around the world. Seems like Street Fighter 2 was in the lead for a while, but now Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has surpassed it in total sales. However, I'm not sure if this is accurate. There were 5 versions of Street Fighter 2, or 6 to 7 if we really want to get into the weeds. Plus, there's the arcade versions and the 25 ports to other systems, so I don't know if that's been accounted for. Also, I don't know if that really qualifies as one game. It's up for discussion. So, who knows? But when it comes to a single piece of software, it
I'm
seems
not
like
sure
Super Smash
Smash
Bros.
is a
Ultimate
fighting
number
game,
one.
but this other best-selling fighting game also, like, does it count?
Although
Like,
I
can
still
you really
don't know
do
if
that
it
and
can really
still
be
call it
called
the
just
best?
a fighting game.
What really is
I
the
feel
best
like
fighting
it's
game
become more
then?
than a fighting game, some sort of celebration of gaming
It's
or
a
something
party.
else entirely.
It's really a party game. It's a party fighting
Also,
game.
I feel a deep attachment to the 5 DLC fighters. The first Fighters Pass just wrapped up, but it was decided that there will be more DLC, which means no breaks for me. I plan to keep working hard, so I hope you can continue to support us.
We love you.
That's it. Thank you.
6 new fighters in this next pass.
My gosh. He never said when Byleth was coming out.
28th.
Oh, did it? Okay. I was like, did I miss that?
Yeah. 28th. It's 2 weeks.
Sakurai, this is painful, man.
They waited forever to tell us, and then they were like, yeah.
And now you're gonna wait even more. But still, like that's a whole month ahead of schedule.
Absolutely.
So I'm pretty satisfied with that.
I am so down to play Byleth, and I'm so down for 6 more fighters.
I love that the 5 showed up and then he snuck the 6th one in. He's so showboaty. So, unlike last time though, rather than a whole year, like it's 2 whole years.
Well, I mean, again, maybe that's just giving them enough time, sure, that they can get it done by the end of 2021.
Right.
Right? I mean, so many things get placeholders, like, okay, December 3rd. So I think that's like okay, by the end of the next year, out, but maybe by the end of June, they're all out. So I'm not going to put that on them, but
No.
certainly, like, okay, essentially 2 years.
They could release
We get new
3 a year, and I feel like that would be sufficient.
Oh, bro. I mean, 5 as it is now is sufficient. The fact that they're giving us 6 more is
Sure felt like a
incredible.
whole lot.
Yeah.
So if they're going to like December of 2021 and say the final character does actually come out around then, that's 3 straight years of constant Smash content.
Yeah.
So they'll be riding the wave for a long time.
I mean, it's the best-selling fighting game of all time. Nintendo was more than willing to be like, all right, let's just throw more into it.
And that begs the question then, like, who else could they possibly add?
Oh, yeah. Is that really a question, though?
I mean,
We've
but
been
like,
talking Travis Touchdown, Doomslayer, Dante,
Monster Hunter.
Monster Hunter. Yeah, no, they could definitely come up with more. I mean, think about even like,
And that's just third party too.
yeah, like I would hope to see some more first parties. I mean, we got a first party here.
Yeah.
So at least 1 or 2 more would be party. Very least.
That said, the one that we got today is probably from a franchise that a set number of people are tired of getting content for.
I saw a lot of like positive tweets, but there was a few that were like, for all the people who like Fire Emblem and they got their way, I hate them. Like, whatever. I mean, you can hate Sakurai because he got his way. He got another Fire Emblem character in the game.
Well, that said, like Three Houses is a monumental game in the series. Like, if any Fire Emblem game was going to get a rep, it would have been this one.
Oh, absolutely.
So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that, and I'm excited to see what's coming next. I'm glad that he put a number on it, rather than keeping us guessing.
How many? Yeah.
Yeah. So we're getting a second Fighter's Pass. There's 6 more characters coming, at least.
We got a Cuphead Mii Fighter costume.
Yep. Garreg Mach Monastery stage with 11 tracks. No other updates.
I wasn't anticipating much outside of it. Like the fact that we got, I wasn't even sure if they were even going to talk about more DLC fighters. The fact that we got the mention of the second Challenger pack of 6 characters was actually a surprise to me. I mean, it wasn't that much of a surprise, but I also just wasn't anticipating it.
Right. Well, I think he felt that he probably had to do that. Otherwise, he was going to get constant tweets on his Twitter.
No, I think it's a good play.
Yeah.
I think it's a good play. I think, like, if I was making that decision, I would have been like, yeah, talk about how many fighters are coming.
He also begged to please not tweet at him over and over again about it. He's like, the characters have already been set. Please don't request any more fighters.
Yes, I'm wondering, really curious as to which ones they've chosen.
Yeah. Well, I guess until then, the next thing we have to look forward to is the next Nintendo Direct.
Yeah, I think I'm still anticipating that before March 20th.
Oh, well, yeah. Like, I think if we don't get one, like, you know, here in the next week, then maybe it'll be mid-February, like it was last year.
Mm-hmm.
And Animal Crossing, I would imagine, is the focus of that. If Animal Crossing doesn't just get its own Direct, or maybe even in addition to that.
Yeah, I think at this point, with how much time, I could see like maybe it getting a Direct a few out from the. But at the same time, like, you're doing a Direct, you might as well just talking about it. Maybe it doesn't get its own Direct, and here's a little bit about it. Here's a few extra things, like maybe a little bit of the progression of what the game is like, and then here's the game. Play the rest, and I don't want to spoil too much.
All right, well, I think that's going to do it for us. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Don't break your backs, breaking the games, but for now...
Break time is over.
Yeah.